And we are live. Welcome, mystery and thriller fans. I'm your on-air host, Sara DiVello, and I am so excited to host the legendary queen of thrills, queen of twists, Samantha Downing herself, here to give us the inside scoop about her brand new red hot new book, For Your Own Good. Samantha, welcome to Mystery and Thriller Mavens. Tell us about your book.
Thank you so much. My book is For Your Own Good, and here it is. It came out in July, and it is a book that takes place at a private high school called Belmont Academy, a fictional high school, where Teddy Crutcher has just been named Teacher of the Year, and he has his own way of doing things. He has his own criteria for how he grades students, and how he writes their recommendation letters, and it is not based on merit. It is based on his own system. So he's teaching these kids to be better people for their own good. The problem is people keep getting in his way, and people keep meddling, the teachers, the parents, and that's a problem for Teddy. So that's pretty much where the story begins.
That's a problem for Teddy, but that's working well for us that it's a problem for Teddy. So I can't wait to get into every single detail of it. But first, I just want to welcome everybody who's watching us on Facebook, who's watching us on YouTube, who's watching us on Murder by the Book, who's watching us on my channels, who's watching in my private Facebook group. Welcome, everybody. If you've been here before, you know how this works. And if you're new, we're so happy to have you. Welcome. Here's how it works. Every Monday for hashtag Mystery Mondays, because Mondays can be murder, I give you two handpicked featured authors, and you get to ask them anything. This is your time to ask your favorite author about her book, about her writing process, about the behind the scenes, anything weighing on your mind. Get it going in the comments. I'll get it right over to Samantha. This is your time. And I see the comments already pouring in. Fantastic. Anissa saying, hello, Sara and Samantha. Anissa, top community member. Welcome back. Always good to have you, girl. Amber is saying, eek. She's so excited. Leslie is saying, hello from Canada. Leslie, you know I love your hellos. Katherine is saying, hi all. Katherine, great to see you. Welcome back. Welcome everybody. Okay, so we got a lot to discuss. Samantha, we have to know. Tell us about the movie deal with HBO, the limited series Robert Downey Jr. acquired. Give us the inside scoop.
Yes, For Your Own Good was acquired by Robert Downey Jr. and Greg Berlanti. Greg Berlanti is a huge television producer. He made You, he made The Flight Attendant, he's made a number of the DC Universe TV shows on TV, and they partnered together to make this into a limited series for HBO Max. So I'm looking forward to watching it when it comes
out. Yay. Now, Samantha, tell us, do you get inside information? Do you get advance notice? Do you get to be involved? Give us the 411.
I am a consulting producer on it. The first step is to get the script written. I'm not a screenwriter, so I'm not writing it. Once they get that done, they can find directors and start casting it, but they have to have a script first. Or at least, I guess, the pilot. I don't know how they do it, if they do all the episodes or how they do it. But we'll see once they get the script written, we'll see if they involve me. I've heard of authors that are very involved. I've heard of authors that are not involved at all and keep their hands off. So we'll see.
Yay. Well, we hope you're one of the involved ones, and that's so exciting. You get to be a consulting producer. That sounds so glamorous. Oh my goodness, so exciting. Linz is saying, what's up, dude?
Catherine, that's my brother. That's Linus.
Linus. Oh my gosh. I thought that I didn't know if it was like California surfer, kind of like, he surfed in and was like, what's up, dudes? And then he just surfed away.
I'm from California. Yeah, we're from California. He's in California.
Oh, welcome.
What's up, dude?
My dude, welcome. Catherine is saying, hi, all. Gail, top community member, saying, hi, Sara and Samantha. Gail, great to have you. Leslie saying, yay, congratulations on the HBO Max limited series.
Thank
Janine
you.
saying, hi from Novato. Welcome, everybody. Now, Samantha, you are getting amazing praise once again. NPR dubbing this the perfect book for the summer. Congratulations on that praise. I feel like that's hashtag goals to get to hear that from none other than NPR. Absolutely amazing. Caroline Kepnes, who of course wrote You, which became the breakout Netflix show, said this is witty and macabre. Congratulations on that. I hope I'm saying that right. The praise just keeps going and going. Megan Miranda dubbing this slick and chilling from the amazing Megan Miranda there. So let's dive into it. How do you craft a book that earns this incredible praise, that is witty, that is the perfect summer book, that is slick and chilling, and most of all, that keeps readers up until 3 a.m. begging, please, Samantha, just one more chapter. You're keeping me up. I'm tired, but I got to keep going. How do you do it?
I wing it the whole way. I don't plot anything. I don't outline anything. I don't do character profiles. I sit down and I start writing, and I keep writing. And sometimes I don't like what I write and I throw it out, and I start something new. But when an idea gets my attention and I could start to see a story develop, then I keep going with it. And then, of course, if I have a deadline, I really keep going with it. But I completely wing it. I have no idea what's going to happen when I sit down and write. I don't know the ending. I don't know the middle. I don't know the twists. I don't know anything.
Wow. Now, how does that work? Because I also don't plot, but I write nonfiction, so I know what's going to happen. With fiction, does that ever lead you down a dark one-way street where you're like, uh-oh, there isn't any way out of this alley. Let me back it up. I mean, how many?
That's when I throw it out. I throw it out at that point. Yeah, I throw out. My books are between 80 and 90,000 words. When I get to the 20,000 word mark, I either see a path forward or I throw it out. So I have a ton of books that I've written. Write the first 20,000 words, and I think this is either I'm not interested in it anymore, or I don't see how I could fit. I don't see how this story can go another 60,000 words, or either the ideas are coming at that point or they're like nothing's there. But I have to write it in order to have the ideas. I can't think it through.
Ooh. So how many times does that not work out for you, where you have to just rip it out and restart, rip it out and restart? Or are you just a well-oiled miracle working machine over there and it just always works because you're so practiced at this point?
No, it happens. Like the entire first year of the pandemic was completely useless for me. I threw out everything. So it happens. It happened a lot. And occasionally I throw out an entire book, like an entirely written book. And I decide I don't like it, or it doesn't work, or it's not good, or whatever.
How often does that happen?
Since I've been published, it's happened twice. So it happens a lot. I've only been published since 2019, and I've thrown out 2 entire books. I'm a pretty fast writer once I get going.
Right.
But I have thrown out 2 entire books since 2019.
Wow.
And countless partial books. Like I couldn't even count. Over 10.
Wow. Oh my gosh. And what happened? It just wasn't happening. You didn't like it. You got bored with it. It wasn't clicking. The pressure was crushing.
Sometimes I just don't like it. If I don't look forward to seeing what happens next, then it's lost. I have to look forward to the story myself. If I'm bored with it, I assume readers will be bored with it. So yeah, I think that comes through in your writing. If I'm bored and I'm forcing it, that readers, that the book, if I love it and I want to see what happens next, and I want to see what happens to these characters, then I keep writing it.
Oh, I love that. And Carrie is saying this is why your books are so amazing, Carrie.
Thank you, Carrie.
totally agree. Your energy, your commitment, your passionate, your curiosity comes through, and we feel that, and we're sucked in because you're sucked in. Oh, I absolutely love this. But wow, throwing out 2 entire completed books, throwing out 10 partially completed books. I mean, what a commitment to your craft that you are, just say, I don't care how much time I've invested in this, it's not up to my standards.
Yeah,
Was
I
that
mean, it's all just practice to me, because you're not going to hit it out of the park every time. You're
right?
just not, and at least I'm not. And the it it just has to be right, and it has to be something
Mm.
I want out in the world. People are going to read it, they're going to review it, I'm going to read the reviews. I mean, I want it to be something I'm proud of. I don't want it to be something I had to force my way through.
Oh,
So it's
yes.
it's it's not that hard to throw something out, because if I don't like it, I don't like it. It's not a waste of time. It's just an idea I tried that didn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, I love that. Okay, Leslie from Canada would like to know, what is your writing regime like? Yeah, she has a 2-part question. So let's start with that. I mean, do you rise with the sun? Are you one of those 5 a.m. writing club people and you're just pounding it away, pounding the
I
keys
used
all day
to be
long?
I used to be when I had a day job. I wrote early in the morning. Now I still write in the morning. I'm a full-time writer now, so I still write in the morning. It's just not quite as early as it used to be. I write a chapter a day, and if you've read my books, my chapters are not long, so it gives me a chance to get one idea out, whatever idea I'm working through in that chapter, and then I think about what the next chapter will be, and what should come next in the story, so then I have the rest of the day to do that. Sometimes later in the day I do some editing or some revising, but all the like actual writing is in the morning. So in theory, if I wrote a chapter every single day, and my chapters are pretty short and there's about 80 chapters in the book, in theory it would be done in 80 days. But I do a lot. I don't write 7 days a week. I probably write 5 or 6 days a week. And so it takes a good probably 4 months to get it out, and then there's revising to do.
That revising look like? So is it, you every day you just start from page 1 and you work your way through, or do you
Oh
read it?
no,
Okay,
no,
what's that look like?
no, 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 no. I revise. I do revise as I go. So if I
Okay.
change something on page 50, I go back and revise the first 50 pages before I move on. So my first draft, quote unquote, when I'm done with it, it's a revised first draft.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
can't just write without revising, and then I have a big mess on my hands at the end. Then I have like 350 pages of mess that needs revision. That's overwhelming to me. So I have to revise as I go, which I break all the rules in writing. They say you shouldn't do that. You should just get all the ideas out and then revise. And you can't do
Yeah,
like
so I love that you break all the rules because there are so many rules, right? Show, don't tell, never do this, always do that. Don't let your butt out of the seat until you have ground out all your words. Be miserable. Like, the more miserable, the better. So you're breaking all the rules, and look at you. It's still working for you. So you are living proof it doesn't have to be this way. I love that.
Yeah,
Let's take a,
I
oh, go ahead.
started writing just as a hobby. I didn't know the rules. I didn't study writing, so there wasn't anybody around to tell me it was wrong, and I wasn't reading books about how to write. So I didn't know what I was doing was wrong. I was just doing it. And now it's a pattern, and I don't want to mess with it. So I
Yeah.
don't mess I do it just my way, and that's just the way.
Yeah, because your way's working for you, girl. Your way's working for you. No, I also am not a trained writer. I don't have a degree in it. I don't have the MBA or the MFA rather. I don't even have an undergraduate degree in writing. So I'm also, blazing my own trail, whacking a path through the forest. So what made you want to be able to do that? What gave you when did you realize you wanted to do it, and what gave you the courage to try?
Um, well, I started writing just because I was a big reader and eventually just wanted to write my own stories. I didn't really think I would get published, because I don't have a pedigree or the
Yeah.
education. And it was really a fluke that I got published. I didn't even send it in. A friend of mine sent it in. So I wrote for like 20 years before I was published. My
Uh-huh.
lovely wife was like the 12th book that I wrote. So there were a lot of books that came before that. So it was really just a hobby. At no time did I think it would be like a career or a way to make money, because I knew how difficult it was. It was just something I loved to do.
I love that. Now let's get to the second part of Leslie's question. Are you working on something now, Samantha?
Yes, I'm writing the 4th book. And it's another thriller. I don't have any details yet, but another thriller. So we'll see.
And so you're just, and once again, seeing where the story, not planning, just totally winging it.
Yeah, I wrote a book and I threw it out. So I threw out my book 4. So now I'm writing a new book 4.
Cool. This question was submitted in advance by Amber Case. She is a member of Mystery and Thriller Mavens, my private Facebook group, free and open to all, where we continue the conversation after the interviews. You can request authors, you can win books. We're having lots of fun over there. Amber, I absolutely loved this question. So she said, Samantha, I would love to hear anything you have to say. Honestly, I'm a huge fan. But one question I would like to ask is, if you could choose any characters from your books to be stranded on an island, with which top 2 would you pick and why? Isn't that the coolest question ever? Amber Case, you awesome thing.
Stranded on an island with my own characters?
Yes.
Okay, I want Millicent from My Lovely Wife and Teddy from For Your Own Good, and they can battle it out.
Okay, and why? And she wants to know, why would you pick Millicent from My Lovely Wife? Let's start with.
Well, because I have to pick those 2 because they would be distracted by each other. So they would leave me alone. They would be concentrating on each other.
Okay, so you're thinking not someone who could help you survive or get off the island. You're thinking just someone who will be distracted so that you can swim to safety or something.
Right. Somebody, well, yeah, because I don't know that any of them would be really good on an island. So, okay. Yeah, I would pick the 2 that are killers, and then they'll concentrate on each other.
Okay, perfect. So you're picking Samantha. So, and Amber is saying Millicent all the way. Amber, welcome you. Thank you for your amazing question. I loved that. She submitted it yesterday, and I've been so excited to ask it because I had just been giggling to myself. So she's saying, she's seconding. Yes.
Actually, Teddy knows a lot about plants, so he could be good on an island too.
Okay, so you're choosing Teddy. So you would also pick Teddy for his plant knowledge.
Yes.
So he's going to pick the plants to keep you alive until he's distracted by Millicent, and then you swim to safety.
Right.
Okay. I like the not only your choices, but the strategy, because listen, you've got to give this some thought, right? There's a lot here. Amber, let us know what you think of Teddy with the plant knowledge. Okay, let's go to the next question. Anissa, love this question, submitted in advance. Thank you. She said, Amber has a follow-up question. But would he pick plants to keep you alive, though?
Well, that's the key, right? Millicent will have to test him first.
Oh, exactly. Samantha selflessly offers Millicent the first taste of Teddy's dinner. She says, "Oh no, I already had an appetizer. You go ahead, Millicent. Millicent makes it through the night, then Samantha will eat it."
Right, exactly.
Samantha Downing. Oh, Mike O'Neill, welcome, top community member. Great to see you. He would like to know, when does the title come to you, Samantha? Were there any other titles that were in competition for the book? Yeah, tell us the story of the title.
The title, all of my titles are common phrases that have been twisted into something more nefarious. So My Lovely Wife, that's a common phrase, meet my lovely wife, Millicent, or whatever. And then, but when on a book cover with a knife, it's a different thing. He started it, refers to siblings and blaming your brother for doing something. And For Your Own Good, I was trying to think of things that people say to children and to kids. And I was thinking of like, it's in your best interest. it's for your own good was just punchier and sounded like a thriller title, that something that adults say to kids, eat your peas because it's for your own good or whatever. So I try to pick, so far I've picked all of my titles, which I've been very lucky at because I know a lot of titles get changed by publishers and marketing and what have you. So I'm sure the theme will continue now that I've done it on 3 books. I think I probably have to continue doing that with the rest of my books. So I really just think about what the book is about and try to think of a common phrase, a phrase people are going to recognize, but is going to sound pretty twisted, or with the right cover could be more ominous than what it really is, like My Lovely Wife. Because My Lovely Wife, that could be the title of a romance book. That could be the title of like 6 different genres. It doesn't scream thriller at all. So
Right. I love that. So I think, were there any other, to Mike's second part of his cool question, any other titles that you thought of and didn't go with on this one, or any of them?
The only other one was, I think, In Your Best Interest, or in your best interest, something in your interest or something.
Love that.
And then For Your Own Good was the one that, as soon as I said the title to my editor, my agent, they were like, "Oh, that's it. Just stop there. That's it." So.
Yay, I love that. Mike saying this is so interesting. Mike, I totally agree. This is so cool. To get the behind the scenes. Amber saying my lovely wife is hands down my favorite book ever.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being so twisted, Amber. I appreciate it.
Important note, stay on Amber's good side, everybody. No, Amber, thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy you get to meet the author of your favorite book and chat with her. This is so cool.
I'm so glad you appreciate twisted books. So that's good. I didn't really know how My Lovely Wife would do because it was so dark and it's so twisted. And it's from, the narrator is the villains are the narrators. There's not really any good guys in the book. So I'm glad that so many people like it and so many people get the humor of it, and that can, like Amber, can appreciate it for what it is, and that it's not a serious, bleak kind of book.
Exactly. You're getting so many hearts up on Facebook. This is awesome. Lori Lee, welcome. Just joined Mystery and Thriller Mavens last night. She's saying it's her favorite book too. Yay. Lori, so great to have you here. Welcome. I'm so happy you guys get to meet your favorite author, the author of your book. This is so cool. Anissa is saying the twistier, the better. I absolutely love that. So many fans here on your twisty tales, Samantha. Amber is saying your books are absolutely amazing. Melissa is saying she loves twisted books. I love that someone with an adorable little dog profile picture is saying that they love twisty books. It's like, oh, I'm a cute little puppy. I like it dark and twisty.
Is that a greyhound? It looks like a greyhound.
I think I complimented Melissa on a previous interview, and I think she shared he's a whippet. Melissa,
a whippet. Oh, okay.
Which I think is looks like a mini greyhound, but they're slightly different. Yeah. So cute. We love his little face. Oh my God, I love dogs. Carolina is saying it's her favorite book ever. Yay. Oh, Carolina, that's so great to have you. Maybe it's Carolina. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Lori Lee is saying, I'm always recommending your books. Thank you for sharing your stories. Oh, yay.
Thank you.
So cool. Melissa's letting us know that cute little puppy is indeed a whippet. I thought so. Let me see, Melissa. I remember the puppies. I want to go back to a question here that I missed before. I'm just scrolling back. Catherine is saying, I love that you have characters that need to be distracted in the situation. Okay, so we're going back to the island.
We're back on the island.
We're back on the deserted island. And yes, Samantha has created characters that need to be distracted so the rest of us can survive. Absolutely love that. Stephanie is saying, For Your Own Good was my first book by Samantha, and I absolutely loved it. She went back and bought her previous two. Very cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Isn't it the best when you discover your new favorite author and then you go back and buy their backlist and you're like, yay, I have more of them to read. It's so fun. Amber is saying she does not think that that Millicent would be testing anybody else's food. I think that's
Probably not. She's
I
probably
think that's
too smart for that.
a fair comment. She's saying she cannot wait for book 4. Carolina or Carolina, I'm not sure which, I hope I'm saying it right, saying, I love My Lovely Wife. I couldn't stop reading until after midnight. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. You're keeping us up late, Samantha. So how do you do that with every chapter? How do you, from a craft perspective, make us turn that page, keep us up late?
Well, it helps to have the short chapters, because of course it makes you think just one more chapter because they're short. So I just keep going, right? So, and I think in a thriller, momentum is important in a thriller.
Yes.
And to keep the story moving, what I prefer to do in thrillers, there are some thriller writers that have a whole story with like a big twist at the end, or a twist in the middle and a twist at the end. And I can't write that story. I'm not capable of writing that story, because I'm not a real descriptive writer, and my writing is very sparse. So I would never make it all the way to the end. I don't have enough to say. I need more to happen in the story for me to even be able to write 90,000 words. So my books have reveals along the way. They're not necessarily twists, but they have reveals. So the story keeps opening up bigger and bigger and bigger, and you get information that you didn't have. So the chapter end is the perfect place to put something that you're revealing, another piece of information, another piece of the puzzle. Oh, whoa, I didn't know this person was doing that. And then you got to read the next chapter. And you can't do it every single chapter, but you have to disperse information throughout the book that keeps people, that hopefully is surprising. I think that's another important thing about thrillers. If it's predictable, it's not any fun for the reader. They'd want to be surprised. So if you've got information that is going to surprise them, that they're not going to expect, I try to think like a thriller reader, and what would I expect to happen? And then I don't do that. And then I don't do the next 5 things I think of either. But it has to make sense for the story as well. So that's kind of the craft, the art of putting it all together, making it make sense, making it be not so out of left field the reader doesn't even know where you're coming from, but also not something that they expect.
Oh, I love that. This makes sense in my brain. I love that. I love that. And I realized it was Katherine who said she doubts Millicent could be conned into taste testing anybody's food. Katherine, you know
Probably
Millicent
not.
well. Katherine always gets it right. I love
But
that.
at least if they're arguing, if Teddy and Millicent are arguing, I'm not dying. So they're occupied with each other.
Exactly. See, I like the way you're thinking. Meanwhile, I'd be like, maybe I could cook for them, and they take, let me a risk. That's how DiVello doesn't make it off the island. I want to remind everybody that this book is out, and you can support independent bookstores, and you can buy it from our favorite woman-owned bookstore, one of 3 dedicated, most respected bookstores in the world, Murder by the Book. I'm popping it into the comments right now, so grab your copy today, because you want to stay up late with Samantha and read this tasty tale.
I have been to the bookstore. The bookstore is amazing, and the dog there is Maisie, the white little dog, and she's so cute. And she wears little outfits. It's the owner's dog, and she has little outfits for it. It's great.
Exactly. And when Maisie does the book pick of the week, it's like my favorite. My finger cannot click like fast enough because it's so cute. I have a little dog, Pelu the Wonder Pup. And she does book picks too. She also does talking dog reviews, because when she's intellectually gifted. So when you have an intellectually gifted child, you gotta let them fly free. Melissa is saying great titles, very eye-catching when browsing the bookstores. Yes, the pleasure of browsing the aisles and saying, "Ooh, that looks good," and moseying over. So fun, so great. Making sure I didn't miss anybody's comments here. Just scrolling through. Katherine is saying, "I want to meet anyone who can con Millicent, or maybe not." Yeah. The person who can con Millicent is probably someone you got to keep your both eyes open
You
for.
have to meet Teddy. Meet Teddy. Teddy might be able to do it.
Meet Teddy again, and you can meet Teddy when you get For Your Own Good, which I'm popping up in the comments. Tempe is saying, "Yay, I found y'all." Tempe, welcome. You're just in time. Great to have you here. Again, I'm popping the link to the books in the link to the book in the comments. You can grab your copy, stay up late with Teddy, get to know your latest deliciously devious character here. Oh, Anissa. Love this question. Samantha, have you ever scared yourself with something that you have written or it was too dark? Give us the skinny.
No. No.
Samantha's hand is rock steady. She's just got ice flowing for her flowing through her veins.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I wondered if it's too dark for the book or too far over the edge for readers, but it doesn't affect me when I'm writing it. No.
So you don't have to decompress at night, take a lavender oil, essential oil bath, sort of watch Real Housewives to unwind. You just are pedal to the metal, freelining the thriller tension then.
Yeah, each of my books definitely has at least one psychopath in it. And, the psychopaths they have their own belief system. They have reasons why they believe what they believe. Teddy is an underdog. He's been an underdog. He sees himself as the underdog, and he teaches a bunch of rich students who drive better cars than he has. So he's his mindset, it's his job to take these entitled kids and make them better people. And it's a mindset I think people can relate to. You may not agree with what Teddy does, but his belief system is pretty common.
Indeed. I feel like we see that with the so-called toxic masculinity that's become a big topic of conversation in the past year of, I'm the victim here. And I like how you've played with that concept here. Very, very cool. Anissa is saying, wow, I guess you will be going even darker. Tempe is laughing out loud at this conversation. Tempe, join us. We're all laughing. This is so much fun.
Hi, Tempe.
Amber is saying there is no too dark for Samantha Downing. Go dark and deep into it. We love it. We're here for it. LOL. I absolutely love that. Linus, the brother, the surfer dude from California, is chiming in. If I knew how twisted her mind works, I would have been a nicer big brother to her. Linus, I think that's a big mistake, my friend. I think
too late.
It is too late. If next in Samantha's next book we see a lovely character named Linus die in a horribly violent way, we're gonna know why. I mean, Linus, it was nice to know you. I am loving this conversation. Okay, Dana would like to know: do you want to stick with writing thrillers? Would you ever like to try another genre? Cool question, Dana. Samantha, give us the skinny.
I have written other books before I was published that were not thrillers, and I have other ideas in my head, but at the moment, thrillers are what my thing is. That's what I'm contractually, have to write. So if I ever get the chance to write down some of my other ideas, maybe, but for now, it's thrillers.
What do you think it would be if it wasn't thrillers?
I have an idea. I have had an idea for a YA book for a while now. It's not a thriller, but I just haven't had a chance to write it. So maybe one day I will. I don't know.
We'll stay tuned. Amber would like to know, curious if you plan on doing any meet and greet sometime in the future, especially near the Nashville area. Hint, hint. Amber asks.
I don't have any planned except for one locally here in New Orleans. Right now, the publishers aren't doing the book tours for liability reasons because of COVID. So when that gets sorted out, hopefully we'll be doing tours again and I'll be able to come to Nashville or wherever. So But at the moment, no, I'm going to do one locally here, and that's it.
Okay, great. Katherine would like to know, what is your favorite book and what books have influenced you as a writer? Katherine, you always have the best questions. Samantha, give us the 411.
My favorite book of all time is probably Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which is one of the original domestic thrillers. That also had an unnamed narrator in it, and it's what definitely influenced me to have an unnamed narrator in My Lovely Wife. I thought the idea was just so interesting. Books influence me as a writer. There's so many thriller writers, definitely Gillian Flynn with Gone Girl. I don't think if Gone Girl hadn't been written, My Lovely Wife probably would never have been written. I would never have thought of writing a marriage thriller if I hadn't I don't know that I even would have had the idea for it if I hadn't read, if Gone Girl hadn't started, and Girl on the Train and The Good Girl and all the other ones that came after Gillian Flynn. If the whole subgenre hadn't been created, I might never have had the idea. So I think in terms of specifically of domestic thrillers, or marriage thrillers, or whatever you want to call them, Gone Girl and then everything that came after that influenced me.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for that. Tempe is correcting me. Tempe, thank you for letting me know. I was saying Tempe, like the city in Arizona, or the delicious vegan protein. Thank you for letting me know. I want to get your name right. Our names are our identities. That's so important, and I want to be corrected. So thank you so much, Tempe, for joining us and for correcting me. I appreciate you. Katherine saying, poor Linus going the way of the...
don't feel sorry for Linus. Please don't feel sorry for Linus.
Linus is headed the way of the dodo bird, I fear. So yes, Katherine, I'm going to have to agree with you. Poor Linus. I mean, Samantha, what are the chances we see a Linus character in your...
How did my brother end up getting sympathy here?
Because we see the dark and twisted mind of Samantha Downing.
I was the tortured little sister.
What's the age difference?
2 years.
Oh yeah, you were tortured.
Yeah, see?
Linus, you get what you deserve. Mike would like to know, will you keep writing thrillers, standalones, or any series ideas? Ooh, cool question, Mike. Thanks.
No, still just standalones. I don't have any ideas for series ideas. I mean, you basically have to have a character that links them all together. So for me, it either has to be a detective police type person, or it has to be a serial killer, like a Dexter type situation. And I don't have any ideas that would carry on. I probably would get bored doing that. I don't know how far I could really go with a series. I get bored pretty easy, so I don't know. I don't think I would do a series. In this genre, I don't think I would do one.
Katherine is saying #Team Samantha. Amber, Amber is saying it was the same with her brother. Justice for Samantha. Can we get Justice for Samantha trending? Can we get Team Samantha trending? Linus right now is ordering extra doors and extra locks for his doors and windows. He is not looking good for you, Linus. Linus, are you still here? Linus is halfway to the Canadian border. Stephanie would like to know, ooh, good question, Stephanie. What type of research do you do to inform your plots? Yeah, so you write about these psychopaths. You write about, the private school situation. You write about, complicated, I'll use that word loosely, marriages. What's your research process like? Are you talking to therapists? Are you talking to psychopaths? Who are you talking to?
It depends on the book. In the second book, and he started it, there was a big road trip in there that I did a lot of research into, because everywhere they stopped was real. In this book, there's a lot about plants that I did all research on to make sure I was on point on that, because I knew people would email me and tell me if I wasn't. And that's great that they do that, because then I will do the work and I will do the research. The psychopaths I did research in back when I wrote My Lovely Wife, so I didn't do anything specific for Your Own Good. So it really just depends on the book. It's very book specific, the type of research that I do, or how in depth I need to go into it.
I love that. Tempe is saying you're on a roll with thrillers. Don't mess with success. Um, I love that. Stephanie would like to know, which was your favorite character to write? I'm going to add, and why.
Okay. Gosh, I don't know. I always say the character I'm writing right now. Teddy was a lot of fun to write in For Your Own Good. He's because there are multiple points of view in this book. So every time I got to write a Teddy section, I got to get into Teddy's belief system again. And he's so funny. To me, he's so funny in what he believes and how he expresses it, that he was just a lot of fun to write. So hopefully that comes across.
It is coming across. The world of private schools is very foreign to me. I've never been to a private school, and I'm happily child free, so I'm not involved in that world. What drew you? I mean, give us the skinny D. Why private schools? What made you want to get in there?
I wanted to get into the entitlement and the privilege of the kids, and the disparity between what teachers make versus the kind of lives these kids make, and also the problem of parents are the ones paying the bills. So parents think they can tell teachers what to do, and which is very different than a public school. When it's a different scenario. You're one step removed when you're the taxpayer, as opposed to writing a check directly to the school. So it was kind of wanting to get into that mindset, all those little social structures that exist in the school, because the school is basically a microcosm. It's its own community. So there's a structure in the teachers, there's a structure between the parents and the teachers, there's a structure between the teachers and the students, and being able to get into that, and it's all based on money and privilege and where their status is in life. So it was fun to be able to get into all those different types of relationships.
I love that. Let's talk about craft. Catherine says, I like short chapters, and I agree that it keeps it pacey. Do you have a specific word count you like to keep to for chapters? I was wondering that too. And do you have a specific word count, and how do you?
It's approximately 1,000 words a chapter. It can be more. It can be a little less. It can be. I mean, I go up to 12 or 1,400 if I need to, but somewhere around 1,000, 1,100 typically.
So now, in your, working now 3 books under your belt, working on your 4th, have you mastered the ability to hit that 1,000 where you're like, oh, you don't even have to look, you're about there, or not?
Yeah, I think I know when I'm about there, because I write like a chapter a day, so like 1,000 words a day, and I usually know when I'm about there. Yeah, I have definitely not mastered anything. You never master this thing, so there's no mastering involved, but I can generally tell about how many words I've written.
I love that. I also love that you said that you like to think like a thriller reader. That was so cool. Stephanie saying, I love that you do that. Amber saying you did a great job with the newest book in terms of unfolding the reveals, as you said. There were so many offhand twists that I never saw coming. And you said, Samantha, you actually think of them as reveals, as the story opening up bigger and bigger and bigger. So when you're writing, again, letting it come to you, does it just then evolve where you're like, oh, then this could be a thing, or this could be a thing, or you at a certain point get a handle on this character and then you pace yourself with these reveals or twists?
I never know what they are in advance. So they do just come to me. I when I'm done writing for the day, I think about what should come next. I think about the options and come up with the different ideas. And thriller writers and thriller readers are constantly playing a game. We play a game with each other. Thriller readers don't want to be able to figure it out. They want a writer to be smarter than them. It is our job to write these stories. Literally, we get paid to do it. So, but thriller readers also want to figure it out because they're smart and they're very sophisticated. Thriller readers have read a lot of thrillers. So we are playing a game. I'm playing a game with you, and you're playing a game with me, and you want to figure it out. But if you figure it out, you're going to be disappointed, and I know you're going to be disappointed. You don't really want to figure it out. You want to be surprised, because that's the fun of it. And that's the fun of it being a reader as well. So what I try to do is, I know you're going to look for the clues. I do too. And I know you're going to see the clues because it's obvious where the clues are. What I do with those clues and how it all comes together is the part that is hopefully surprising. So if I say, Joe put the photograph in the drawer, desk drawer, you're going to know that's important. That's so specific. You're going to be like, that photograph is in that desk drawer, and that's really important. And somebody's going to find it, and it's going to be incriminating or something or other. Well, I know that you're going to think that. So I then burn the house down. And there goes the photograph. So now the photograph is gone. And it was important, but it was important in the way that you thought it was going to be important. So that's where the surprise comes in.
Ooh, I like this perspective. This makes sense to my brain. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Melissa would like to know, how do you come up with these twisted stories? Melissa, I'm also wondering, but I was afraid to ask. Braver than me.
I don't know. For this one, I just wanted to write about a bad teacher. That's what I wanted to write about. And not a teacher who was a sexual predator, but a teacher that was a psychopath, and the effect that would have on the students he was teaching. So that was all I started with, was that it was going to be about a bad teacher, because that's a very scary thought when you have a teacher who realizes how much power he has to influence kids, and that our kids spend so much time with teachers, and then add in what the one's a psychopath. That's just a frightening scenario. So I thought it would be good for a thriller, and it worked. I mean, it's a completed book at least, so it worked.
I love that. I love that.
Basically, how I come up with these twisted stories, I try to think of something mundane and something everyday that we're all familiar with, and make it something thriller-esque, scary.
Ooh.
So like in My Lovely Wife, it was the suburbs. It was a suburban family. And he started it, it was a road trip. And in For Your Own Good, it's a high school. These are all very common things. We're all familiar with these things. But exactly. How can I make it the most twisted version of that possible?
I love that. Samantha saying she loves your short chapters. Katherine is saying finding a backlist on a new author is absolutely the best. Katherine, I totally agree. It's so fun when you then get to say, oh, yay, I have more to read. Katherine saying she loves whippets. Me too. We're all admiring your whippet, Melissa. Melissa, there she is. She said she's gorgeous but naughty. Gorgeous and naughty could be Millicent. Right? That's not just Melissa's whippet. That's Samantha's characters. Making sure I didn't miss anything here. You guys always ask the best question. I love you. I love my mystery and thriller mavens. I love y'all. All right. Carrie is saying no one burns the house down like Samantha Downing. Amen, Carrie. Preach. I totally agree. Okay, cool. Amber says, while we're waiting on the next Samantha Downing book, do you have any favorite thriller authors that you can recommend? Yeah, who should we keep busy with?
Definitely, if you haven't read Caroline Kepnes' The You series, with that's a series with a psychopath as the narrator, Joe. It's the show on Netflix, but it's a series of books as well. So I would definitely say read those.
I'm going to pop those in the comments. Here's Caroline Kepnes' whole backlist from Murder by the Book. So click it and order yourself up some psychopathy.
Yep. There is a book that by a Brazilian writer named Ralph Montes, Montes. It's called Perfect Days. And it is one of the most perfectly screwed up books you will ever read. I love it. It is fantastic. Ooh. And it's a couple years old, but if you like those kind of books with a villain as a narrator, Perfect Days, Rafael Montes.
Okay, cool. I'm going to
read that.
Okay,
yeah,
let me look for that Rafael Montes. I'm going to pop that in the comments for y'all as well. Meanwhile, we'll get to the next question. Tempe is saying the Kepnes books really are great. That's so great to hear. Thank you for letting us know. I saw another question back here. Oh, okay. Stephanie, how long did it take you to write For Your Own Good?
In total, it was between 5 and 6 months, but with revising it and everything, it takes. I like to have about 6 months. I can get it done quicker if I have to, but 6 months is preferable.
Wow, you are fast. Okay, I found the book by Rafael Montes. I'm popping it into the comments. So here's another recommendation from Samantha. Thanks for the great question, Amber, about what we should be reading while we're waiting for that next Samantha Downing book, while her little fingers are just flying as fast as they can over the keyboard to create our next deliciously devious Samantha Downing book. The recommendations are in the comments. So you can go ahead and grab those when you order For Your Own Good. And if you've already read For Your Own Good, then you can get those. What book is currently on your night table?
I just finished reading a book. The books I'm reading now are coming out in 2022, so I'm reading advanced copies. But I just read the next one by Hannah Mary McKinnon. She's one of my favorite authors as well. Has her next one comes out in spring 2022. And one that comes out in September is the next one from Hank Felipe Ryan, which is Her Perfect Life, which is really great.
Yay! So Hank will be on the show in September. So everyone come back for Mystery Mondays, and Hank will make your Mondays more bearable, sharing Her Perfect Life. Hannah Mary McKinnon's been on the show twice. She's fabulous, and she's coming back a third time next May. She comes on every May for a sizzling Memorial Day chilling thriller. So Hannah Mary McKinnon is fantastic. I love her. And Hank, oh my God, legend. All of her books are fantastic. So can't wait to host her. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody's comments. You guys always have the best things. Stephanie's saying, I love Hannah. Isn't Hannah the best? She's so fantastic. And I love how she and Hank are the most supportive ever of other authors with their First Chapter Fun series and shouting out others' work. It's so important for authors to support authors. And they do that so beautifully and so selflessly. It's absolutely fantastic. Hank and Hannah are the best. Okay, perfect. Katherine would like to know, will your next book be out in 2022 or 2023? Samantha, do you know?
I think it's going to be 2023, but I don't have a date. So I don't.
Okay, perfect. Well, when you have a date, come back and give us the skinny on that, because this has been so much fun. All right, you guys, we are over our time, but let's take one more question, because I know you love you some Samantha, and we all do. So if anyone has one last question for Samantha, I'm just scrolling through quickly. Melissa's saying she would love to see a Dexter-inspired book in the future or series. That would be fantastic. Anissa is saying, thank you, ladies. This was often. She went to private schools till college. Ooh, Anissa, you're going to love this one extra then. Katherine is saying she is laughing so hard. Y'all are fabulous. Katherine, you're wonderful. Always great to have you. Thank you so much. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. I hope I didn't. I just want to remind you all that I have a free Facebook group. So come over and join. Mystery and Thriller Mavens. I'm going to pop the link in the comments, where we will continue the conversation. And again, be sure to grab your copy of Samantha's book, and all of her books are backlist. I popped it in the link one more time. Mike saying, thank you so much. This has been a great event. And you guys, the praise just keeps going. B.A. Paris, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, said, I just finished reading this wonderfully dark book. Katherine is saying, thank you. This has been great. Katherine, always great to have you. Thank you so much. A rave review from B.A. Paris. I'm popping that into the comments. I mean, the praise just keeps coming for you, Samantha. People love this book. So thank you so much. Chandler Baker raved all the dark fun of election, but with Downing's signature diabolical spin. Chandler Baker was just on the show 2 weeks ago. She's fantastic.
She is.
Isn't she so great? She's so funny.
She is.
All right, everybody. I'm just scrolling to see, make sure I miss anything. Carrie is saying thank you. Stephanie is saying thank you. Making sure I got all your things. Melissa's waving goodbye. Amber saying thank you so much. I truly enjoyed this so much. Amber, I'm so glad you got to meet your favorite author and ask her questions. Katherine saying this has been great. You guys, this has been such a pleasure as always. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your presence. Lori Lee saying thank you. This was wonderful. Thanks to our lovely host. Not that kind of lovely. Oh my God. Maybe I should start opening the show with a knife just to like really set the tone, like a giant cleaver. I mean, this is a mystery show. Where's my knife? Tempe is saying thank you and who dat? Great to have you, Tempe. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. I'll be back with Alice Feeney next week. And Matthew Fitzsimmons. So with his new book, Constance. So I will see you next Monday for hashtag Mystery Mondays, because Mondays can be murder, but we'll have a killer good time. Have a great night, everybody, and I'll see you soon.